Hi guys, so today we're gonna be talking about the F line, starting from Jamaica 179th Street.
This is a Manhattan-bound F local train. The next stop.
So at Jamaica 179th Street, you could transfer. It's a terminus station for F trains and E trains, rush hour E trains. Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Boulevard. So, at Parsons Boulevard, I'm guessing you can transfer to the E train at Jamaica Center, Parsons Archer, because this is a avenue, I think, Parsons Avenue, and I guess it remind them Jamaica Center, even though Jamaica Center was like a second newest station. So let's go into Supton Boulevard.
F local train. The next stop is Sutphin Boulevard.
So at Supton Boulevard, I think you could transfer to the Q3 bus to LaGuardia Airport. Now let's go into Briarwood.
This is Sutphin Boulevard. Transfer is available to the Q44 Select Bus Service. This is a Manhattan-bound F local train. The next stop is Briarwood. This is Briarwood. Transfer is available to the Q44 Select Bus Service.
Sometimes the E trains stop here during like rush hours, I think. See? Like that. Like, I don't know why they take so long though. And you could transfer to the Q44. And now let's go into Kew Gardens Union Turnpike.
This is a Manhattan-bound F local train. The next stop is Kew Gardens Union Turnpike.
So at Kew Gardens Union Turnpike, you could transfer to the train across the platform. And now let's go on to 75th Avenue.
This is Kew Gardens Union Turnpike. Transfer is available to the E to Jamaica Center. Transfer is available to the Q10 bus to JFK Airport.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear of the platform.
This is a Manhattan-bound F local train. The next stop is 75th Avenue.
So at 75th Avenue, the E train skips here. And it sometimes stops here during when it viates the F line to Jamaica 179th. now, let's go on to Forest Hill 71st Avenue.
This is a Manhattan-bound F local train. The next stop is Forest Hills, 71st Avenue. This is Forest Hills, 71st Avenue. Transfer is available to the E, M, and R trains. This is...
So, at Forest Hill 71st Avenue, you get transferred to the E, M, and R trains. And you get transferred to Long Island Railroad at the Forest. I think it's called Forest Hills. Yeah. And now let's go on to Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue.
Is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
This is a Manhattan-bound F express train. The next stop is Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue.
So at Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, I actually like the F Express announcement. So at Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, you could transfer to the 7 train at 74th Street, Broadway, E, M, and R trains. And you can transfer to the Q47 and the LaGuardia Link Q70 Select Bus Service to LaGuardia Airport and the Q53 Select Bus Service. And the 7 train is actually upper ground. But you don't have to leave the station. You just have to go upstairs for the 7 train. Now let's go on to 21st Street, Queensbridge.
This is Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue. Transfers available to the 7, E, M, and R trains.
Transfer to the Q47 and the LaGuardia Link Q70 Select Bus Service to LaGuardia Airport.
Transfer to the Q53 Select Bus Service.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
This is a Manhattan-bound F express train. The next stop is 21st Street, Queensbridge.
So, at 21st Street, Queensbridge, the F shuttle used to end here. And it's the last station in Queens. In Queens for the F train. And then the F shuttle would just go on to Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street. Now let's go on to Roosevelt Island.
This is 21st Street, Queensbridge.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear of the platform.
This is a Manhattan-bound F express train. The next stop is Roosevelt Island.
So Roosevelt Island is the first station in Manhattan for the F train. And the F shuttle used to be the Lexington Avenue 63rd Street bound F train. And during the 63rd Street construction through the 63rd Street line, there was an F shuttle that ran between 21st Street, Queensbridge, and Queens, and Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street in Manhattan. And now let's go into Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street.
This is Roosevelt Island.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the front of the platform.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street. This is Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street.
Transfer is available to the Q train.
A free transfer is also available to the 4, 5, 6, N, R, and W trains by walking to the Lexington Avenue 59th Street station
And use an Omni or your Metro card. This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear and center of the platform.
God, that's a long announcement. So So at Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street was the terminal station for the F shuttle. And during the F trains, and there was construction on the line for the until 57th Street. Now let's go on to 57th Street now.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is 57th Street.
So at 57th Street, the M train used to end here during the 63rd Street construction line rebuilt. The tracks when they became rotten, I guess. And they used to go on one whole platform. And now let's go on to 4750th Street's Rockefeller Center.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is 47th 50th Street's Rockefeller Center. This is 47th 50th Street's Rockefeller Center. Transfer is available to the B, D, and M trains.
This is an exception.
So at 4750th Street's Rockefeller Center, you can transfer to the B, D, and M trains. And the F and M trains actually go on the express track. And for the B and D, they go on the local track. And then after the station, they just switch. Like the B and D trains go on the express track, and then the F and M trains go on the local track. Now let's go on to 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
Station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is 42nd Street, Bryant Park. This is 42nd Street, Bryant Park. Transfer is available to the 1, 2, 3, 7, B, D, N, Q, R, and W trains. Transfer is available to the shuttle to Grand Central. This is a Brooklyn.
You could transfer to the A and C trains here too. Like I said in the 1, 2, 3, 7 A, B, C, D, and E train video. And you could transfer to the 42nd Street shuttle and the Port Authority bus terminal and the 5th Avenue stations on Times Square 42nd Street. So you could transfer to Times Square 42nd Street on the 7 and the 5th Avenue station on the 7 line. So let's go to 34th Street, Herald Square.
Bound F local train. The next stop is 34th Street, Herald Square. This is 34th Street, Herald Square. Transfer is available to the B, D, N, Q, R, and W trains. Transfer is available to the M34 Select Bus Service. Connection is available to the PATH trains.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear of the platform.
So you could transfer to the N, Q, R, and W trains. And yeah. Now let's go on to 23rd Street.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is 23rd Street. This is...
So at 23rd Street, you could transfer to the M23, and there's more 23rd Street stations called that. On the ACE 456, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, I think that's it. Now let's go into 14th Street.
23rd Street.
Transfer to the M23 Select Bus Service.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is 14th Street. This is 14th Street.
Transfer is available to the 1, 2, 3, and L trains. Transfer is also available to the M14 select bus service. Connection is available to the path.
So, at 14th Street, as you heard the woman. She's actually a real person, but I just forgot her name. She works on. She announced the. She announced the two. I think she announced like the. She announces the L train the most. And the ACE when it's the M14. And the 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. But not on the 1 and 3, unless if they have R142s. Now let's go on to West 4th Street.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is West 4th Street, Washington Square. This is West 4th Street, Washington Square. Transfer is available to the A, B, C, D, E, and M trains.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
So this is the last chance to transfer to the E train. And you could transfer to the A and C trains. And if you haven't seen the A and C train video, go check that out. Because we finished all the IRT trains, and now we have to finish the G, and then we're just all done with the IRT. I meant the IND. And now let's go on to Broadway Lafayette Street. Oh wait, I did talk about West 4th Street. So I did. Now let's go on to Broadway Lafayette Street.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is Broadway Lafayette Street. This is Broadway Lafayette Street. Transfer is available to the 6, B, D, and M trains.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the front of the platform.
So, at Broadway Lafayette Street, you can transfer to the 6th train at Bleecker Street. And now let's go to 2nd Avenue.
The Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is 2nd Avenue. This is 2nd Avenue. Transfer is available to the M15 Select Bus Service.
So, at 2nd Avenue, it used to be called Lower East Side 2nd Avenue because the V train used to end here. But then it got shut down in like 2005 or 2010 after the R160s got in, I guess. And the E train actually ends here when it's like when the E train doesn't come to World Trade Center because of reasons, I guess. And yeah. And now let's go on to Delancey Street, Essex Street. I'm at Delancey Street, Essex Street.
This is a Brooklyn-bound F local train. The next stop is Delancey Street, Essex Street. This is Delancey Street, Essex Street.
Transfer is available to the J and M train. Transfer is also available to the M14 Select Bus Service.
So, at Delancey Street, Essex Street, you can transfer to the M14 Select Bus Service. And you could transfer to the Z train during like weekdays. And it's actually a Sunday, so you can actually transfer to the Z train between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Or 8 o'clock, because I think the last Z train is like at 8:55, I think. And you could transfer and the Z train runs between like 4 o'clock and 5 p.m. I think. And now let's go on to East Broadway.
Brooklyn bound F local train. The next stop is East Broadway. This is a Brooklyn.
So at East Broadway, you could it's the last station in Manhattan for, we're in Manhattan. For the F train. And now, let's go on to York Street, the first station in Brooklyn.
Bound F local train. The next stop is York Street. This is York Street. This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue.
So at York Street. At York Street, we could it's the first station in Manhattan. In Brooklyn. And now, let's go on to J Street Metrotech.
Bound F local train. The next stop is J Street Metrotech. This is J Street Metrotech. Transfer is available to the A, C, and R trains. This is.
So at J Street Metrotech, it's the last chance to transfer to the A and C trains across the platform. And you can transfer to the R train. And now let's go on to Bergen Street.
It's an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound F local.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. So at
Train. The next stop is Bergen Street.
So at Bergen Street, you can there's a lower level. And that's where F Express trains go past through. And then go all the way to 7th Avenue. And now, let's go on to... And you can transfer to the G train. Now let's go on to Carroll Street.
This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound F local train. The next stop is Carroll Street.
And then at Carroll Street, you can transfer to the G train. And it's the last station above ground before Smith 9th Street and 4th Avenue 9th Street. And now let's go on to Smith 9th Street.
This is Carroll Street. Transfer is available to the G train.
And so at Smith 9th Street,
This is a Coney Island.
So at Smith 9th Street, you could transfer to the G train. And it's a terminal station. And let's go on to 4th Avenue 9th Street.
Stillwell Avenue bound F local train. The next stop is Smith 9th Street. This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound F local train. The next stop is 4th Avenue, 9th Street.
So at 4th Avenue, 9th Street, you could transfer to the R train at 9th Street. And during overnight, you could transfer to the D. You could transfer to the D, M, and No, not the M. You can transfer to the D, M, N, and R, N trains. And now, let's go on to 7th Avenue.
This is 4th Avenue, 9th Street. Transfer is available to the R train. This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound F local train. The next stop is 7th Avenue.
So, at 7th Avenue, you could transfer to the F. So you could transfer to the And guys, I think I'm just gonna do the express because this is taking way too long. So we're just gonna go all the way to Church Avenue. So at 7th Avenue, we're gonna transfer to the. You could transfer to the F Express train, and I'll tell y'all about all the rest of the stops during the G train video. And then at Church Avenue, it's the last stop for the G train. And there's the Church Avenue yard. And now let's go on to 18th Avenue. So at 18th Avenue is a terminal station sometimes for the up train. And then I think Party Bay Parkway has 2 island platforms. So now let's go, and then that's a terminal station. And now let's go on to Kings Highway. So at Kings Highway, it's a terminal station for the F train sometimes. And now let's go on to Neptune Avenue. So at Neptune Avenue, you can see the Coney Island yard. And now let's go on to West 8th Street New York Aquarium. So at West 8th Street New York Aquarium, you could transfer to the Q train on the upper level. And now let's go on. Hold on.
This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound F local train. The next stop is 15th Street, Prospect Park. This is West 8th Street, New York Aquarium. Transfer is available to the Q train. This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound F local train. The next and last stop is Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue.
So at Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue, you can transfer to the D, N, and Q trains. And that'll be the end for the F train line. And now I'll see you guys on the G train video. Bye.